What?
Push me to the hedge. All my friends are bred.
Okay, yeah, we're live. Hey, thanks for your intro, Gil. For another episode of Dem Game Voice. Alright, so I'm Kian, and I'm here with, oh man, who's that boy sitting in front of me today?
Wait, which one are we doing?
The video game one.
Oh, okay.
It's John Zine, what?
I am here!
Did you all mind it?
I tried.
That was close. Yeah, John's back. John has been on a porn hiatus, I guess.
Was that for like
You
half
can
a
call
year?
it that.
It's a porn
Half a year?
See, John's making a porn museum
That's how
right
long it
next to the
takes
strip.
for me to jail.
Right next to the strip club that sells steak. So, like, you get a strip club that sells steak, then you go to John D's porn museum.
Museum? What is this now?
Start
I don't
charging
think you'd be at the
admissions.
museum type.
Like, I feel like, I don't know. So, how you been, John?
You know, playing Magic.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, John's
And, like, other stuff too, but that's essentially what I've been doing when I'm not here.
John's been playing. John's been doing good at Magic, though, right? Are you? So?
I mean, like, I'm playing at a level that's, like, way higher than where I'm supposed to be at, I suppose, at this point.
That's
so.
like a positive, right? Or is that
No,
a
I
negative?
mean, like, I'm attempting to play at a
Okay.
higher level than what
So
I
does
am.
that mean you're getting your ass kicked? Or
Generally, but, like, I'm starting to get better, so.
We also
I'm
have.
playing, like,
Oh, sorry.
REL competitive tournaments, like, not for fun. It's like, I'm trying to take the actual step into going pro.
implying that Magic is ever for fun?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes. There's Commander that I don't play.
Well, it's not fun, though.
It's supposed to be just for fun.
I know.
But I agree, it's not that fun. It's too many politics.
We also have Eli.
I am Eli.
Hey, what's up, man? And Gil. So, just like we usually do, guys, what have you been playing lately? Hey, Gil, have you been playing anything lately?
Dead Cells, bitch.
Wait,
Yeah!
have you really been playing it?
That's what I was playing when you had to go.
Nice, dude. I fucking love that game.
That game is really fun.
Playing that shit since it was fucking in beta yet.
How are you liking Dead Cells, though?
Oh, it has very much catched my interest. I didn't want to leave it, but I figured we should probably be here, considering it's been a while.
I told him I'd drive,
Yeah.
and then I slept the entire way.
Not the entire way, about
Pretty
halfway.
much. This is pretty close.
Halfway you were on Twitter, then the other
Yeah.
half you were asleep.
So, what's Dead Cells? I'm not familiar.
Dead Cells is a Castlevania, or most people refer to just the genre in general as Metroidvania styled.
It's like
Action
it's a
adventure game.
Metroidvania Souls-like rogue game.
It was
So-
the game that the IGN dude plagiarized, right? That was the
Well, he plagiarized his review for it.
plagiarized the review for
Okay,
it.
so,
Yeah.
Like, I don't...
So, I mean, I think it's fun.
It's super fun.
It's better than Chasm because I thought Chasm was like trying to be. I think Dead Cells did.
It's essentially it's
You
a
finally said it.
That's a Chasm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Chasm. I'm fucking right. Like, shut the fuck up. I know you. We had the 2 weeks ago we had the conversation for pecans and pecans, and then chasm and chasm, and
Yeah, it's Chasm.
yes, chasm. No, yeah, it's chasm. Chasm's really fun. You fucking, but no, I really
I don't think it matters about the pecans thing. I think it could be
That one doesn't
pecans or
really,
pecans. Yeah.
pecans.
I think
pecans.
It depends how old you are, really.
Generally, yeah. If you're
Pecan
like
sandwich.
over the age of
Yeah, are you
60,
like a
it's
toddler
probably
who says pecans, or are you like
Well, I
an
mean,
80-year-old who says pecans?
There's
no middle ground.
No, there's a middle ground. So there's a middle ground where it's pecans, and then there's the like higher than like 70 and lower than like 6 who are pecans. So
What about you, John? I mean, you were always the man who
Is
was
it
like playing
pecans
6
or
different. No,
pecans?
what have you been playing? You were the man who's like,
Oh.
I'm playing like 6 different games at
I mean,
the
I'm
same
still
time,
playing
and I
like
fucking
6
hate
different
myself.
games at the same time, and I do still hate myself. I literally played through the entirety of a game called Sinner's Sacrifice for Redemption last night.
Is that a Souls? Like,
It is a Souls-like, but it's a boss rush game, so it's kind of like a mixture between like it's Souls gameplay, but like a Cuphead-esque game style.
Okay,
So it's like it's just boss fights. You go from one boss fight to the next.
okay, so there's no like mini. There's no like.
No, there's no like in between. There is a story, but it's literally just you fight one boss, then you go to the next boss.
It's like this typical organics, it's typical like You're a spirit, revenge, fight monsters.
No, I haven't really like got into the story much at all. Because like,
You're
I've just
Liam
played
Neeson
through-
and someone has wronged you. Go kill them.
I've only
I
played
played
through it
that.
the one time.
Like
I was having a lot of fun with it until I got to like the last. So you can fight the bosses in any order that you want, and you have to like sacrifice something in order to fight the bosses. So like one boss, you sacrifice a portion of your health and stamina, and then if you can either not win against the boss, and then like take that sacrifice back, and then do it later, or if you beat the boss, then you lose whatever you sacrificed for the rest of the game. So like,
wow, that's actually super. That's an interesting mechanic, though. I like the idea of that.
it's kind of cool, but like it did not take people very long to figure out like the best way to go about it.
It's kind of like the Mega Man games. Like, which
it's like
boss do you
there's
choose
a
first?
boss that takes away like your attack power. It like cuts your damage in half, and there's a boss that like cuts your stamina and your health by like an eighth, and it's like doesn't matter what order you do the other ones in, just do those two last, because it makes some of the other boss fights impossible.
All right. Anything else that catches your mind and interest?
I mean, I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2 right now. I like that a lot.
I do. Dude, it's such a fun game.
Yeah, the horses have dicks. It's great.
It's a pretty game. Besides, like, it
Horse
just
dicks?
yeah.
They're super detailed. Like, some horses have bigger dicks than other horses, and I'm like, whoa, somebody had to program all of this.
They had 2 people research it, spending a whole day.
Yeah, I know. Like, they
Yeah,
went
no.
all out just on horse dicks. Like, I'm not kidding.
I know, but I'm pretty sure they went all out besides just the horse penises.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, the story's great.
Yeah.
But
Like-
those horse dicks.
Lol. And
Oh.
I'm running around dressed up as Woody from Toy Story right
I
now.
was talking with Zach yesterday. Jay's like, I'm only like 10% done with the story. Zach's like, I just plowed through almost all the story. I'm like, I get so fucking caught up with side quests. I don't know how, like...
Yeah, I'm
it's-
like 80% through probably right
Types
now.
of people.
It's like the Skyrim syndrome I have when I'm playing Skyrim. I'm like, I could finish the story, or you just like fuck around and just...
See, yeah, I was gonna say I don't know about side quests. It's always I'm just gonna go on a murder rampage.
I don't do that.
Yeah, it's
Walk
hard.
up to random people in the fucking street and be like, draw, and then shoot them in the fucking head. And they're
It's kind of hard to do that in Red Dead, because like there are lots of portions where you can't break the law,
Yeah,
and so...
That's very
but
distinct.
like
And
apparently,
then
like
you'll raise up bounty level too, which will stick with you.
yeah, and then it's like a fucking combination of also like a not as bad personally from the Fallout 4. Like, hey, you run basically a compound and you have to team up with everyone and make sure everyone's kind of happy.
But no, I'm loving it. Like,
Yeah, I think it's fun.
the story is so fucking mature.
Yeah.
Like,
All of the
this is
things
like-
you just said make me not want to play it.
This is like one of the first games I've played in a long time where I just feel like the demographic is only adults. Like,
Yeah, this is not for
there
like
is like nothing in this story that like appeals to like
high schoolers.
Fortnite players,
Yeah. That's the thing that gets me though. Is just
which
like
is how I felt playing Spider-Man. I'm just like, wow, this is so fucking shallow.
really.
Yes, I don't like Spider-Man. I very much don't like that game.
Wow.
I've played Arkham City. I've played Assassin's Creed. I don't need someone to smash them together and make a game out of it and then call it the best thing that's come out all
To be
year.
fair, I agree with you, but I think it does what they did better.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that too. Like, don't get me wrong, I had fun playing Spider-Man, and that's because they, like, nailed the one thing they had to, and that's that
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man feels like Spider-Man. Like, web slinging is fun, the combat's boring as fuck, but it doesn't matter because you just swing around like a douchebag with your webs the whole time, picking people up off the ground and punching them in the air, and then sending them flying, and then web slinging them, and then sending them flying in a different direction.
But you didn't even like the story?
No, the story's kind of lame. Like, it starts out, like, super, super slow, and then, like, as you progress into it, it gets a little bit better, but then it just immediately, like, it goes from, like, we're going really slow into this methodical, like, end game, and then it just slams you in the side of the face with it. And it just...
So...
It goes from, like, I went through 2 boss fights in the, like, first, probably, like, 13, 14 hours I was playing that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then in, like, the last 4 hours, It was like six boss fights.
Yeah. So like, would you tell people to just wait for it till it goes on sale then?
Oh, I mean, like anybody who's gonna play this has already bought it.
You know what I mean, though. Like,
and
but
it's
like,
talking about how much they absolutely love it.
Because it makes you feel like Spider-Man.
I mean, yeah, it does.
I'm giving
it's
you
cool enough that it makes me feel like Spider-Man.
As Red Dead makes me feel like a cowboy.
Red Dead does not make me feel
It
like a
doesn't
cowboy.
make me feel
It
like
makes me feel like Woody from Toy Story.
Who was a cowboy?
From what I've seen of Spider-Man, because I just watch people play it, it's when you hit the Mary Jane parts.
Yeah, it's very slow.
And then the play is Miles Morales.
The Miles Morales part is not actually bad in my opinion.
It didn't look as bad, but I still think it's bad.
Yeah. So the difference between the Miles Morales part is that whole section is like a huge beat in the story. So it feels like there's purpose to that part.
Whereas the Mary Janes are just like, I'm gonna do some investigating shit.
The Mary Jane is literally just like,
I'm a nosy bitch, I'm gonna go in here!
Yeah, this is just filler that you could have just explained.
Yeah, it's like, you could have had her just talk about this in like
on the
four
phone
lines
with Peter.
four lines of dialogue.
So
yeah,
Peter,
like,
I was at the museum and I totally found these bad guys, you should come over here.
Well, like, so the first time, and everybody that wants to play this has already been spoiled, probably. I mean, the game's been out for a while. So, like, the first time you have to do one of those Mary Jane missions, you're literally, like, infiltrating, like, Fisk's art museum.
Yeah.
And, like, the demons are in there trying to get Fisk's shit, too. And Mary Jane is in there before you. And so you're in the middle of this warehouse. Like, it's like an after room in the warehouse or whatever where they store shit. And she's hiding in there. And you just randomly find her in there, like, out of the blue. And then it goes into this explanation of why she's there. And then suddenly you are Mary Jane living through that portion. And they don't even immediately go into the stealth portion that you're playing as Mary Jane for. You start out by walking around this museum taking pictures with some other high-strung bitch. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I want to be Spider-Man.
At the very least, because they did it with the puzzles, you can just skip the fucking puzzles.
Yeah.
And it's like, you could have just let people skip that, and then for people who really gave a fuck about the story or
well, it's not even important to the story.
It,
like, that's the thing. It's like,
it kind of gives some
it
background
gives context to
then,
why Mary Jane
that she
is
then
there.
talks about.
yeah,
anyway,
exactly. That's
so.
the thing, though. Is like she literally just like hands you the file that she found, and is like, "Here, I found this." And
Yeah, and you
could have
really
just said that.
Yeah, you really
Why did you have to
like,
take me on an adventure through it?
Yeah, like I understand where he's coming from, but like I don't know, I had fun with the game. I think the game is really pretty.
I think the game is really lazy. I think that they finished the web slinging and then they phoned the rest of it in. Like, people have been complaining for I don't know how many years about how Assassin's Creed is just climb this tower and then walk to the points on your map. That's exactly what Spider-Man is, except for I don't have to walk to the points on the map.
I can web sling and be
all
happy
of my
about
complaints with Assassin's Creed end with, and then you follow this guy for 2 fucking hours.
Well, Eli, what have you been playing?
The new Mario Party. I don't know how new it is at this point.
It's only a couple weeks old. I've also played it.
My roommates bought it, and then I've been playing that with them.
That's one of the other games I kind of want to play. There's just one real hangout.
It is very disappointing in my opinion.
It is very disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think games
not worth the
yeah.
$60 price tag.
I've only played one Mario Party. Other than that,
I feel there's a handful of those like Switch games that I don't think should be like $50 to $60 that are.
I mean, there's always stuff like that in the Nintendo rage, but people are gonna buy them anyway.
Well, yeah, exactly, but like,
there's a Mario Party in my pants.
shut the fuck up. Like, fucking the game you just bought from GameStop, Final Mix or whatever. I feel like that's a reasonably priced game because that wasn't the full price. It wasn't full price. It was like $43. Like, there's some games though, like
Final Mix.
The World Ends With You.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, I feel like that game's reasonably priced.
Yeah, I think that one's only 40, isn't it?
Yeah, 43. Yeah, it was 43.
I mean, nobody cares about taxes in Iowa.
Well, it was
Or
like
sales tax
before
in Iowa
tax. It was 43 because I feel like I remember. But like, no, like I don't know. Like the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle is still like I like that. Like there's no story to it, but it's just I used to play beat 'em ups a lot.
Yeah, I just wish there was more than what there is on there.
Right. That was
like I've played it too. And it's like...
I kind of wish they had all the final fights.
I can beat all of those games in a total of like 2 hours.
Yeah.
When will it really be the final fight, though?
Well, they went to Street Fighter, so the final fight ended with them moving to the Street Fighter universe. So, 10 points for that. So, we're going to
10
go...
points to Gillendor.
Yeah, Gillen. So, we're going to go through... We're going to go through... We're going to go through
Gil,
2 trailers, and then
Gil
really
the
basically
door.
it's just the Nintendo Direct and BlizzCon and
You
some
hear
other
that?
stories.
Gil, I want to fuck.
Oh my god.
God damn it.
Go on.
So the first one we're going to talk
That's
about
what
is
I'm doing is going on.
the medieval...
Continue on.
Eli's like,
In case
you're
Eli's-
back for like fucking an hour, and I'm done.
I had to make sure that Eli's mom knew that I was here.
Blow up my heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Medieval Remake came out, and John, you
It
had...
hasn't come out yet.
No, the trailer.
Oh, yeah, the trailer.
You had some words about this, so...
Did I?
You're like, man, I hope they like actually worked on it instead of just like reskinning it because they've...
Oh, no, I know they've actually worked on it. Like, it's not actually like a remaster, it's a remake. Like, they've completely built the game up from ground up.
That's good.
I'm not very interested in it because, like, I've already played the game and I'm just kind of, like, getting burned out on remasters and remakes and stuff.
So no RE2 for John? Resident
RE2.
Evil.
Oh, Resident Evil? I don't know, maybe. Like, the difference is like, there are some games where it makes sense. Like, when Dark Souls got a remaster, like, one of the talking points was, you're gonna be able to play this, and the game's not gonna shit its pants every time you walk into a new area. Or, like, anytime there's more than 2 enemies on the screen. Like, you're not gonna drop from 60 frames to fucking 2.
Okay.
Like, for Resident Evil, it's a similar situation. It's like, the game is going to perform better. Like, yes, Medieval is going to perform better, but there was never any huge performance issues in that game to begin with. Like, if you go back and play it, it still holds up. Graphically, not really. But, like, gameplay-wise and mechanics-wise, it's still an okay game.
It's like Spyro, the Reignited trilogy. It's kind of just like...
Yeah, like, I'm not entirely sure it needs it. Same thing with Crash, though, to be honest. Like, I think if they hadn't actually, like, changed some of the mechanics for Crash, I don't think it would have been as interesting as
But then
it was.
they didn't change a whole lot of it.
They changed the entire jump system.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, it was all of the timing on the jumps was different. That's why there were so many people that were like, "Is Crash the Dark Souls of platformers?" Because they couldn't readjust to a different time to jump from what they remember, and they just kept dying and dying and dying and dying.
Well, that's just people being fucking stupid.
Not really, because like you have this ingrained in your head that you're playing the same game, you're gonna play it the same way. I mean, like if somebody was like to alter if I was playing through Dark Souls and somebody adjusted my control setup so that there was like a half a hair of a second input difference in my button controls as to when it actually happened, it would totally fuck up my entire game.
But
So like, I
feel
can
like
understand why people were like, "This is really fucking hard."
Right, I can understand that, but like Dark Souls is more of a recent game. Like I don't know. I'm like one of like, I don't know.
Yeah, but more people have played through Crash easily.
Right. I don't know if you keep that much. Then we go to the PlayStation Classic, and John again really hates this.
Of course I do. I don't like classic consoles.
Yeah.
It's money-hungry, greedy garbage. And that's all it is. Like, this is literally just Sony being like, wow, Nintendo made a lot of money off of these dumb things. And they're cheap to make.
Yes, they are.
And they're
By
not
finding
cheap to buy.
Batteries.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Literally like cell phone microchips and shit. This one's probably a little bit more advanced than the NES or SNES.
That's why like I wanted to make that counterpoint. I feel like this one they have 20 games where like Nintendo only had like what 12.
I don't remember how much were in there. I thought there was more than that.
Yeah, I thought there was too.
I don't think there was like.
I'm pretty sure there's at least like 18.
Is there? I can't remember.
At least 15, I know that.
Like
They're comparable.
But I mean, the game selection for the Nintendo ones is so much fucking better. Not to mention, like, at least the SNES had Star Fox 2.
yeah.
Like, you can at least justify something with that. Like, I still don't think an $80 price tag, but...
To be fair to PlayStation, I think the original console was the weakest, so...
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Game-wise.
SNES has 30.
Oh what?
No.
No.
Not the SNES, sorry, just the NES.
Oh, yeah, that's understandable. I mean, they could fit, like, 200 of those fucking games on a cell phone microchip.
Yeah. I was like.
Like, that shit is, like, nothing for memory.
Yeah. I don't know. Like you got a point there, but like my thing is that like
The SNES has 21.
21. Ooh.
Yeah, get fucked, Sony. I'm sorry, I'm a PlayStation boy.
But no, they have like games that I wish they would put out on, like, if they put Wild Arms out on Steam, I'd fucking buy it, but like they don't. So it's like, I don't really find a need for it.
I would prefer that this literally just be like,
I wish they would put it on the PSN network where you could buy the game separately.
well, yeah, that, or like even like take all of these games and just be like, here's a bundle that you could buy on your PS4 that's slightly cheaper than the classic one. You don't have to go out and buy this stupid paperweight that's going to sell out instantly.
It did sell out everywhere.
Of course. I knew it was going to.
Wait for the Xbox Classic.
Yeah, exactly. It
They're
weighs
gonna-
like 50 pounds.
Yeah, like
No,
Whiplash.
the console's gonna be tiny, and then it'll have the original Duke controllers,
There
which
we
will
go.
be bigger than the
Bigger
console.
than the console.
And they need 4 of them too, so it's good.
And then there's still the possibility it'll
Back
crash.
when gaming was right, and you could kill your friends with the controller.
You literally have to have a forklift to get the box into your house.
Didn't they re-release those Duke controllers though?
Yeah,
They
because
did.
they were putting Xbox games on Xbox One.
It
So
actually sold pretty well. So.
Yeah.
Use them as fucking curling weights.
Well, a lot of people with really big hands like them, so
yeah.
which is understandable. But
Sorry, Donald Trump.
I don't have big hands. I have fat
You're not an
fingers, and I
NBA
don't
player.
like them.
yeah, I don't like it either. But like,
So what John's saying is Shaquille O'Neal bought them all out.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure, wasn't it Shaq or Jordan or somebody? It was like did a commercial for him.
Shaq.
He talked with IGN about him and
Shaquille, yeah.
how much he
Michael-
loved it.
Yeah.
Shaquille
Because
O'Neal.
Which I
Shaquille
can
O'Neal is
understand
a
because
fucking giant man.
Which I can understand because that shit looks like one Joy-Con in his fucking hands.
I kind of want to see Shaquille O'Neal play Smash with one of those small
I'm
Joy-Cons.
assuming he can't. Like, I'm actually gonna say he probably just can't play
Holding it with
Switch.
like 2 fingers and 2 fingers on
Like-
the analog.
He's like, okay, we're gonna play Shaq Fu on the Nintendo. I broke the Switch. I'm sorry, guys. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't mean to.
I don't think he can play Switch. Like, I struggle to play with the Joy-Con controller.
I really hate that.
What, the Joy-Con
Fucking
controller?
Mario Party, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the one where you slide it in and
I
it's
didn't
just
even
like,
know.
oh, God.
Yeah, I didn't even know they were supposed to be sideways.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was very confused.
Yeah, because, like, we'll get into that when we talk about Smash. Mutant Football is a game that is basically Blood Bowl, but
Is it?
But better.
Is it a game?
it's a game.
Is it a game?
It's Madden, but with mutants.
Yeah, I literally feel like they just copied somebody else's idea and like phoned it in.
They
for the rest
they
of the
copied Blood Bowl, but instead of making it turn-based,
They gave
and
it the Madden
and like
gameplay.
an XCOM style, yeah, they made it real time, which is just better in every way.
That sounds like something I don't want to play.
You are a fan of real time. I forgot about that.
Well, I was just when it comes to a football game,
Yeah, that could be like.
absolutely.
Why would you have a grid-based football game?
Yeah,
It's like, all right,
Why not?
wide receiver gonna because it takes the fucking edge out of
Yeah,
it.
Was
I
it
don't
as
know.
hard as
Your
XCOM?
fucking matches would take a solid hour and a half.
Yeah, but then you couldn't just win with pure luck.
Was it as hard as XCOM?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
There
Then
was
there's
no
point.
research or anything, yeah.
No point then.
You could,
I mean, I don't know.
There's better-
Obviously, this is like for people who are like super into weird shit and like sports. Like, I like the Madden games. I
I don't
find
even
them.
like sports, and I think it looks fun.
I like the Madden games and NBA 2K and shit like that. I play that with my brother all the time. Like, I like these games. So like to get my brother into like nerdy shit, like, you want to play like mutant football? It's just like Madden, but like there's traps and shit. You'd be like, yeah, let's do it. But like essentially, shut the fuck up, Kill.
Is that like an innuendo?
Oh,
What?
God damn it.
I feel like that's an innuendo.
Whatever. Okay. Then we go into just some quick news. Nier Automata's 2B is apparently in Soul Calibur as a
If
DLC.
anybody didn't get that, I was insinuating that Key and his
2B.
brother like jerk each other off.
2B, she's the fucking robot lady.
Yeah,
Oh,
from Nier
right.
Automata.
So
Didn't know that was
the
a
trailer,
character.
we didn't watch the trailer.
I don't care. Can you see your butthole?
No. But it was
I
a
don't
tits
care.
versus ass competition because Ivy and 2B were fighting and people were straight up, they were like debating on like who was better.
I really don't feel
course,
like
of
there's
course.
a debate on that because Ivy is tits and ass, and that's it. Like, that's all. Like, there's no design to that character except for a floating pair of boobs and a big old butt and a thong.
In a
Like,
BDSM style
That's
whip.
how they started drawing the character, and they're like, alright, now I just need to find the correct body shape to bring
pretty
this all
much. And
together."
then they gave her a weird face. No, I
Namco.
like Soul Calibur 6, but I'm actually like really disappointed they brought Ivy back. I knew they were going to.
You're the weirdest individual.
I don't think characters like that are designed well. It's like, this is fucking retarded.
It's like Taki. I don't like Taki though either.
And I mean, she's alright.
Big titty ninja. But like, no, like...
But I mean, at least she's not like walking around like in straps. Like, essentially just
Do you
wearing
not have
a
a problem
couple...
with Valdo though? Because like, I don't know. I feel like Valdo's...
I feel like Valdo's just the in...
Who?
Alright, so he's the guy that's got like the
He's
fucking...
the BDSM dude who's like... He looks weird.
Not familiar with Soul Calibur.
Alright, so...
He does a lot of humping. He literally has a hump attack.
Christ.
I feel like he's like the token character that they included to make something like Ivy's design okay.
Christ.
So like, I'm not really like a huge fan of him. But...
I don't know. I don't
know.
It's whatever.
I like Soul Calibur 6, but at the same time I'm like, I really wish they'd get over these designs. And just like make something...
Kind of like how Dead
shit.
or Alive 6 is kind of going that route. It's not really focusing
Oh
on...
no,
like,
Dead or Alive is still gonna be like ridiculous. Like, you just wait. Like, maybe their main costumes are gonna be like
Then
pretty
they're gonna get
conservative.
DLC super sexy costumes.
Yeah, they're gonna have like DLC bunny suits and swimsuits, and then they're gonna bring back the controller's motion jiggle physics,
Oh god, no.
which I'm okay with.
Alright, so milestone, the
Because
25th...
I jerk off with my PS4 controller taped to my hand.
So apparently EverQuest still has expansions, and it's the 25th expansion that just came out.
Of what?
EverQuest.
That's really funny.
I had no idea that this game was still relevant for some people.
It's not.
I
Except
didn't
that
know
it
it was
is.
still doing
Yeah,
shit.
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know either. That's why I put it on the news. I'm like, EverQuest is still a thing, guys.
I feel like the reason it's still a thing is because there is like no end to that game.
I know, but I
Like,
feel
you
like...
could literally like live in that game and still have not done everything yet.
Oh, well, you can do that with a lot of games.
Well, yeah, true.
Like
but-
any MMOs, really.
Like,
Yeah,
WoW,
I
I
guess
feel
so.
like, I thought, like, once WoW
Well, that's the
hit,
thing, is, like,
it's
people are still playing WoW.
RuneScape, Jesus.
Yeah, people are still playing RuneScape.
Well, yeah, I know, I get you on that. I did not know, like, I still hear about WoW and RuneScape, though. I'm like, this is the first thing I've heard about EverQuest in, like, ages. I'm like,
Really?
oh, shit, yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I get you.
I mean, I guess they had some stuff going on last year too.
It's like, if, like, someone's like, hey, guys, Guild Wars has a new expansion. I'm like, what?
That
Really?
wouldn't surprise me.
Just, there's...
I mean, they've still got a dedicated team that continuously updates Guild Wars and shit like that. They
details...
don't really add anything. They just kind of
Yeah.
fix stuff that people complain about. But
Yeah. Details from EA's latest fiscal call suggest that Respawn's Star Wars The Last Jedi Fallen Order is to arrive in 2019 lineup with Episode 9.
wait, what is this?
The fucking game that Respawn was making.
I mean, the one that they canceled?
No. The one they fired everyone from and then changed the assets to make it more multiplayer instead of single player.
Oh, so it's gonna be stupid. Cool.
It could still be good.
But will it?
Nah.
I mean, I suppose Battlefront 2 isn't as bad anymore either, so...
Have you bought it yet?
No. I mean, I played it for free for a while. They had like a free weekend or whatever. And it's not terrible. Like, it's still a lot of grind if you don't want to pay for anything, but at least it's not like 60,000 hours before you get to fucking Darth Vader
Right.
for free.
Rockstar Games broke a world record of making like over like $70 million.
Yeah, this is like the highest grossing media thing ever.
So like, good on you guys. Good job, Rockstar.
I mean,
What-
there's a lot of controversy with it and the whole like crunch thing, and
Crunch.
so
They had 100. We talked about this 2 weeks ago.
yeah,
They had
one of the main devs like came out and was like almost kind of bragging about him and some other coworkers putting in like 100-hour work weeks to get Red Dead finished in time.
But it was only. But then they were like, it was just a certain amount of people, and then like the HR was like, okay, anyone who's a dev on Red Dead, just say that we like treated you nicely and it wasn't like bad.
So what happened is like they started getting a bunch of flack for it, and then I can't remember his name, Schreier.
Dan.
Yeah, whatever. First name doesn't matter. Last name is what's important. So Schreier does a news article about it, and everybody knows him like really well in the gaming industry as like the guy who's gonna dig really fucking deep. And he did. He dug really fucking deep. And so, in order to try and get ahead of it, the Rockstar essentially like told all their employees like, go ahead and just take a day to say whatever you want about us on Twitter. And of course, like, nobody's gonna say anything bad. Like, are you kidding me?
We won't fire you today, but
yeah,
tomorrow...
Exactly.
We'll get you good.
It started out as kind of like everybody was like, yeah, it's really great working here. I love everything. And then, like, it slowly kind of progressed into, like, yeah, it's great, but, like, this could be better. Or, like, this kind of sucks. And, like, there's still a lot of really scummy things Rockstar does. Like, if you're... Anybody who wasn't on the team when Red Dead was actually finished and actually released yet did not end up in the final credits, so they got no credit for any work they did unless they stayed till the end. Like, that's really shitty, because that's a lot of people that are literally just hired to do one thing and then that's it. So, I mean, it's not like they took on a job at Rockstar and then quit halfway through.
John hates Rockstar.
I don't hate Rockstar. Like, I think they're a great company. I just think that there's a lot they could be doing that's better.
But John, the horse penises. Did they credit the people for the horse penises?
I'm not actually sure.
Up,
they didn't specifically label... I haven't made it to the credits yet, but as far as I know, they didn't specifically label the
Horse penis
guys.
enthusiasts.
I don't know if they'd call them enthusiasts.
Researchers.
More like hobbyists.
Hello Games apparently is still working on No Man's Sky, so good on them.
Oh, yeah.
The Abyss, it's an underwater horror-esque theme.
Yeah, they've been working on...
Which is good on them. Like, I mean, I feel...
It's like actually a game now.
Yeah, I
buy it one of these days when it's on sale.
with No Man's Sky, I feel
it's
like
literally like $10.
Taken
$60 last time
What?
I looked, like
Really?
a month
for
ago.
the Xbox, yeah.
For the
No, on
Xbox?
Steam.
On Steam.
Oh, on
Yes.
Steam.
Fuck me.
taken.
On the Xbox, it's probably like fucking $300.
I was gonna say, like, I literally
I'll
saw it
have
on the PlayStation Store like 2 weeks ago for like $9.99.
Taken.
Yeah, I think it was recently on sale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That might be it too.
Treyarch finally introduces Call of Duty's Black Ops microtransactions, and man, people, you can spend $300 cash right away for the special coin package. There's like a one that's equivalent to $300, and there's probably a dude who did it, and I was just like,
Of course.
It's your old roommate.
There are people out there who do not care about money and play Call of Duty probably.
for just a job.
Rich people's kids.
Yeah.
Or just rich people.
Or just kids.
So the
Yeah,
screenwriter
they stole their dad's
behind
phone and
Blizzard's
shit.
live-action Call of Duty movie says that movie might start filming next year. Like, we need...
Spending all dad's money on Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Live action Call of Duty movie.
That sounds pretty gay.
Yeah, I don't understand why we need it.
I probably shouldn't
I mean,
use
it
that as a
doesn't- no,
derogatory
'cause
term, but
I don't think it sounds pretty gay. It just seems like very generic action
very
movie.
stupid.
Turns
It's the best
could
action
be
movie in the
Okay,
century.
so here's the thing.
We've
Like,
seen every
Black
other
Ops
military
had a
movie.
good campaign to it.
Black Ops was
The
just every
first one.
Vietnam movie, though.
It was a good.
They literally
everything.
axed the campaign for Black Ops 4 because people have been shitting on the campaigns for like the last, 8 years? I don't know. When was the last time a decent Call of Duty came out? Decent story?
Black Ops
Black
4.
Ops 2.
Black Ops 4
Not
doesn't
4,
even
Black
have-
Ops 2.
I don't think Black Ops 2's story was great. That
Then
shit was
Black Ops.
pretty garbage. Yeah,
What?
probably Black Ops.
So yeah, it'd be only like
2 was pretty good.
6
I
years.
didn't think it was like... I mean, it wasn't like
Like,
as
it-
bad as everything.
It would be less
Or
than
It was
6
pretty
years.
good. I don't know what you're
Black
talking
Ops?
about.
Black Ops is like, it'd be like 5 years since Black Ops.
Black
Black
Ops
Ops
was way
1?
more than 5 years ago.
Black Ops 2 was like 5 years ago.
Yeah. I played Black
2012.
Ops 2 when I was...
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
like
that's about 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
But Black Ops, didn't Black Ops, the first one come out in like 2010? 2008?
No.
2009, I think.
Well, let's
No,
see.
World
while
at
ago.
War came out in 2009.
World at War was way before that, bud.
No way, dude. World at War came out when I was like a
That
fucking
was
freshman.
2007.
Was it? No, fucking. To the
Black
internet.
Ops came out, or was popular when I was in middle school. That much I know. Because my brother wouldn't let me play on his account. He was worried I'd ruin his
2008.
KD.
World at War came out in 2008, so I was
Yeah.
like 1 year off. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many Call of Duty games. they're never gonna change. So
Anyway, fuck you, Black
Call
Ops
of
2 is a
Duty.
good story.
I mean, it's not the worst, but
Call of
I
Duty.
don't think it's great.
What are you
Call of
proposing
Duty
is
never
better?
changes.
Any other game?
yeah, Black Ops 2 came out
A
2012.
non-Call of Duty game?
Well, no, I'm saying other Call of Duty
Other
games.
Call of Duties.
I'm talking in terms of Call of Duty campaigns.
Probably like Call of Duty 2. You didn't play that, did you?
I've played it, but not for fun.
What?
Okay, so
Big
popular
Win-
Halo
Big Win
video
won.
game protagonist Master Chief is reportedly currently being cast for the upcoming Showtime TV show based on the game. So originally when this came out, they're like, there's going to be no Master Chief, it's going to be its own Halo-esque story.
Yeah.
Now they're falling backwards on, it's going to be a Master Chief story.
I don't want a Master Chief story. He's the weakest character.
Yeah, I knew you were going to be, I had to like ask you how you feel about
He's the
this.
face.
You can't do a fucking... They keep doing stories about a character that you were supposed to envision yourself as. You were supposed to
Yeah.
project yourself onto him.
That's the
If
same
you
thing.
keep doing stories, giving him background, you can't fucking do that anymore, and it alienates the people.
That's probably like the same thing
Goddamn
that's gonna
retards.
happen with this new Legend of Zelda TV show. It's like they're probably just gonna do Link, and it's literally a character that you're supposed to project yourself into.
Yeah,
Turns
The
out all he
reason
does
he's a
is
silent
make noises.
protagonist. I mean, I'd be
there's
okay with
actually,
that.
that was going to
They
be,
just hire a voice actor, and they're like, all right, so we need these lines from you. And he's like, ha, hia, hu, and huh. Yeah, that's great. You're done. We'll send you a check in the mail.
I feel like, okay, so that was the
Everybody
next story we
questions
were
why
going
he
to
just
run into because the first thing I was going to bring up is Castlevania got renewed for season 3
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
episodes. But my thing about this, we all have differing opinions of the Castlevania season 2. Us three. You don't like it. You think
I liked it.
it's you don't think it's as strong as the first season.
Okay, yeah, that's...
You like it a lot. You like it a lot, and I'm in the middle. Why do you not think it's as strong as the first season? In your mind.
Okay, so for... There's a long stretch
I farted.
where the main, like, protagonists sit in a library and don't do anything.
Mhm.
And while that's sort of interesting, just because they're, like, reading and figuring shit out or whatever, I'm glad that the other storyline existed, because otherwise I would have completely lost interest.
Right.
Well, I feel like if the other storyline had existed, they would have just cut all of that into 4 episodes anyways again.
Oh, yeah, probably.
So, I mean, it would have essentially been the same amount of time and length. It just would have been a shorter
I
season.
feel like it was anticlimactic, though.
There's that, but I kind of liked they did that, because then it means that they're not stronger than Dracula.
Right.
So
No.
that in the coming season, whenever they fight anybody, it's like, well, they killed Dracula. How the fuck aren't they gonna kill this asshole?
Well,
Right.
it's not even that, too. It's like I've seen a lot of confusion as to, like, what this story's based off of, and everybody's like, it's not like Symphony of the Night. And I'm like, it's not supposed
It's
to be.
Castlevania 3.
There are...
It's around the time period between Castlevania 1 and 2. The storyline is supposed to be completely new.
It
I don't know about
It has the
that,
characters
'cause I
from
haven't-
3, though. It's Castlevania's 3
Yeah,
characters.
it has the characters, but
But-
the storyline is supposed to be its own thing.
its own original thing. But, like,
Well, I haven't played any of the games, so it's all
Right.
new to me. I don't...
the one thing, though, that the one thing I just don't like is how they portrayed Hector, I guess. Because, like, in the game, they have him not betray Dracula, but just leave because he doesn't want to kill people. He only was there to create Demon Forge magic.
I think this is a
Kind
better
of.
Hector than that, honestly.
Kind of did that anyway.
But they, like...
He didn't really mean to betray Dracula.
Right. That's what I mean, though. In
Well,
the one he meant to
See,
betray
I think
him.
this is a better portrayal of Hector because the reason that he leaves Dracula in the first place is because he's still sympathetic to humans. He doesn't care that there's going to be a bunch of them that die, but he doesn't want them to suffer. And then he sees that they're still suffering and that they're just being killed for no reason, and he decides to leave in the game. In this one, he decides that he's going to take actual action to try and do something about it. He does betray Dracula. See, I thought at first it was kind of like he accidentally betrayed him, but he very much planned with Carmilla to, like, dethrone Dracula. They never had plans to kill him, but they definitely, like, I remember, like, watching through it with Gil when he watched it the other night, because that was the second time that I saw it, And like initially I was thinking like, well, he didn't really like betray him, but then like watching through and actually like listening to the dialogue closer, like they definitely were like, Carmilla was like, my forces are gonna come in, dethrone Dracula, and we'll just put him in the back corner or whatever. And he's like, you really think he's just gonna like, or like exact words were like, your forces won't be enough, like hinting at he's gonna make her the night dudes or whatever to fight alongside her troops.
But even when they do that, he kind of, because I think that's where she like beats the shit out of him.
No, that's at the end. See, this is
that at the very end?
Yeah, that was at the very end.
There's a part where I just
the part
remember...
that I'm talking about is like right in episode 3 or 4 or something like that, like right halfway through, like before they even move the castle to Brayla.
When they're...
Well, I just remember at Brayla though, when they do fight, and he's like, oh shit, I accidentally betrayed Dracula, and he tries to go back, and she's like, nah, he's gonna fucking kill you, you're with me now, bitch.
I think at that, it's just like a point at which he realizes...
They make him out to be a simpleton, basically.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah,
well,
that's the reason...
Dracula says it too, he's a child inside a man's body. So like, I think that point is like, he just like realizes that, oh shit, I fucked up a lot more than I thought we were going to here.
Yeah.
Like, this is worse than what I thought was going to happen.
Again,
like, she made it seem that, like, they weren't going to kill anybody.
Again, that's just personal. Again, this is just my personal opinion on it. I don't like that character development. I like Isaac's character development. I think what they did with him was super interesting. I wish they would have had a better rivalry between Hector and Isaac.
Speaking of fucking Isaac, though, brings me to my second point of Godbrand. Worthless character, did not need to be in the show.
Yeah.
Does nothing.
The Viking?
Yeah, and his voice actor, I don't like.
Gil had an actual complaint about this too.
I don't know
that I was
why, but his voice is just...
It's everywhere. Like,
yeah, it's fucking all over the place. I don't get it.
He's actually a Scandinavian.
Yeah.
Like, he is
He
from
fucking
that
can
part
be,
of Europe.
but I don't think it's a good fit.
I'm assuming that the entire accent and that character are played for the points of comedy.
I assume that too, but it's
I
not
don't
even
think, like,
that.
Because they try to make... Here's the thing about Godbrand, though. They want to, like... They try... You can't have him play both, like... Have him be like, he could be a possible serious threat, and then have him be like, I'm just obnoxious and shit. Like,
he's not supposed to be a serious threat. He's just supposed to be like a background character that pushes the internal antagonization in Dracula's court. Like, he's the one that's supposed to be causing trouble before Carmilla gets there. He's essentially the reason that Carmilla shows up. So Carmilla is like the big bad inside Dracula's court, and Godbrand is like the push that brings her in. Because she's communicating with him from the beginning. And he is bringing up the points that she is going to be, like, emphasizing on later. So he's just kind of, like, a funny way to introduce the audience to, like, the problems that the other vampires have with Dracula's plan early on.
I don't think it's a bad...
I don't necessarily think he's the strongest character in the show, for sure.
Right. No,
which is why I think they killed him off so early.
I just think he's unneeded.
I'm assuming like they.
I think all of Dracula's, but most of Dracula's court was really unneeded. I'm just like,
that was the thing. They kind of brought all these vampires in, just in season 2. They weren't in the first season at all.
They had like.
And I get that he's calling them from all around the world or whatever.
They had some cool shit though. Like that Japanese vampire had that like kind of like fucking Japanese mist horror shit going. Like I love. They had cool shit going with them, which I understand why they were like, they are not important characters. I get that, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, they did focus and center around certain things that I think were very good. My thing, there were just things that like, I don't know, I feel like the rivalry, like I said, the reason why I don't like the Hector thing is because I do like, in the original, there was a strong rivalry between Hector and Isaac.
Well, they only have 8 episodes as opposed to an entire game.
Yeah.
Right, but at the same time, they also spent a lot of those episodes in like the library too.
Yeah, because that's more important. You're going to learn more about Hector and Isaac in the next season.
Right. Yeah, that is true.
Like, those guys are going to be important later on. This is about them killing Dracula, which is why the library is important, because they have to find a way to get to Dracula first.
Well, then the only other thing is that there are some things in the show that are just like very glossed over very quickly, where it's just like, oh, I found the Morning Star, and then that's all. It's just like, oh, like, no story behind that?
Well, I mean,
I haven't played the games, I don't know what that is.
I'm assuming that the reason they just glossed over that is because they expected you to have played the game.
Yeah, they expect you to know that this is the Belmont special whip from Leon Belmont. He used to kill with his knife.
The Morning Star is in multiple Castlevanias.
And I get that
I'm really
expect
upset with the wall chicken not being in anything.
They expect people watching the show to know that, but it's like, to his companions, he's just like, I found the Morning Star, guys! You're like, oh, I know what that is!
To be totally honest, they kind of did the same thing in the show.
Yeah.
Like, he's like next to Sypha when he does it, and she's just like, what is that ugly thing? And he's like, the Morning Star. And then she's just like, goes back to reading.
She's like, oh, that's
alright, cool, whatever. Like,
alright, Gil, you've seen it too, and...
I marathoned it last night.
You've stayed quiet, and this is fresh in your mind. It's been a week since I saw it, so like I said, what did you think about it? You've been quiet this entire time.
Make sure that you don't agree with me so I can argue with you like everybody else. It's really fun.
I enjoyed it. It started off strong. That first season did what it intended to and just brought you into the world. And then the second season built up that world even further, but it didn't support some of the stuff like it should have, I feel. Like, especially with some of those characters, it just kind of focused more on Isaac and Hector and their past and Dracula's ambitions for it all. And
that's right. They really kind of glossed over Carmela's origin, comparatively.
They did everything really quick.
Yeah.
I still don't feel like she's supposed to be as important.
She probably isn't. She's just something that goes on.
I think she's
after.
just something that's going to push Hector into being a bigger villain. Like, I think the whole point of this season is to set Isaac and Hector up as bigger potential bads, especially Isaac.
Oh yeah, Isaac's definitely gonna...
I did really like the ending, though.
Yeah, I like Isaac's ending. It really was fucking cool. Like, he means business, and he...
And I mean, that's the thing that people keep forgetting, too, is, like, they've stated before they want to adapt Symphony of the Night as well. But, like, the problem with Symphony of the Night is it's Dracula's resurrection. So, like, they have to kill Dracula in the first place to get there.
He's back.
And that's essentially what happens here.
Oh god, they kill Dracula a lot, though, in those games.
Well, yeah.
He comes, like, there was one game where you fight Dracula's, and this is true, you fight Dracula's fingernail as, like, a wraith. It's like, what?
But, I mean, that's essentially, because, like, I saw complaints about Death not being in it, and I'm like, why would Death be here? Dracula hasn't died yet.
Dracula has always had Death as his...
No.
No, from the beginning, before he was Dracula.
They've known each other, but they don't actually work together until after Dracula dies.
No,
Death is one of the reasons he comes back.
No, they've worked together since the beginning. Before Dracula was Dracula. Before Dracula became a vampire, he sends Leon out to fucking kill another vampire.
Alright, well, I'm talking about the games.
It is the game.
It's not in the games.
It's in the games.
Which
one?
The
later games.
Because you literally fight Dracula as Dracula in Castlevania 1.
Yes. But there's a prequel game that came out in PlayStation 2 that lets you play as Leon Belmont, which is canonical.
Prequel shit.
Yeah, where you fight Death, where Death is like, he's always there from the beginning.
Well, that sounds stupid.
And then Lords of Shadow came in and was like, Death is an acolyte of evil and shit like that.
Lords of Shadow is trash.
I really like the Castlevania games, so like, I don't have any problem with them. Like, I don't think Symphony of the Night would make a good show anyways, to be real with you.
It would.
I don't know. Like,
if they kept it short...
You have to...
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's just...
You have to focus on the actual storyline and not actually, like, care about any of the gameplay-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, essentially, people are gonna not like it because it's gonna be like that, but, I mean... It's gonna be a better story that way.
I think their action scenes were really cool, and that's because they had Madhouse working with them. I'm like, a lot of those fight scenes were fun, so...
A lot of the animation was very fluid.
Yeah, so like when Sypha uses her magic and like the explosion with her hands like dims everything. It's like I like that shit a lot. Really,
they really don't put a limit on Sypha's power.
No, they just
bitch is like, I could do a flamethrower and teleport castles.
Like, excuse me while I explode a vampire flame.
Well, see what happened was she just held the flame in place.
See what happened is she just willed the castle to fucking move.
Well, yeah, essentially. But the
Pretty
part where
gay.
they're blowing up the demon was essentially the same magic she literally used like 10 seconds before.
Fire.
She was literally like just holding on to the fireballs that the other ones threw,
Yeah.
and then threw them back. And then she did the same thing to the demon before the fireball came out.
Basically, it just seems like she can only manipulate fire and water. That castle thing was just...
She's an airbender.
She's a castle bender.
Castle bending.
So it was literally a spell that she made because they were in the library and had all that information.
Yeah.
So it's a spell to manipulate the engine of the castle.
And she had to write that all down, and then
Yeah.
she used it.
I know, it's still just... Yeah.
So they don't like establish a limit to her power, but I'm gonna assume that she's not like
Unlimited
power. She's not like fucking Palpatine or anything like
She's
that.
be having lightning fingers in
Yeah,
the next
exactly.
fucking season.
I mean, that probably wouldn't be that obscure because I mean she's already shooting fire out of her Naruto symbols.
I mean, she's not all powerful. We
Her
saw that when
pictures.
Dracula threw a fireball.
Yeah,
at
she
them.
fight.
Yeah,
She
and
it took all
slapped the
three
fire.
of
You're
them.
like, nah. I like Dracula's character though. Like I like this because it does. You sympathize more with Dracula instead of him being like, I'm an evil bad guy. Ha ha. He's like,
They killed my wife.
yeah, but like instead of just like, I'm
Where's my wife?
Well, like, my thing about Dracula's thing is, like, in the games, he's just like, fuck humanity. This one, he's like, I kind of want to die. So, like, this is basically me.
What did Alucard say? It's the world's longest suicide?
Yeah, suicide. Oh, I thought
I mean,
it was
that's
Carmella.
even what Godbrand said.
Yeah, it's like the world's
That's why I'm like, I really don't think he's that bad of a character because he's the first one who notices that something's wrong.
The world's longest suicide attempt, I think.
I think that's... I feel like that's probably the strongest point is, like, Dracula's, like, humanization of, like, yeah, I have nothing left, man. Like, my wife's dead.
I tried to kill my child.
My son's kind of is a teenager who fucking hates me.
I
like,
can conjure meteors, though. That's pretty cool. I'd want to keep living if I could do that.
Have you seen Henry Cavill's Geralt?
No.
He
I
doesn't
think I
have
saw
a bird.
like a sort of picture of it.
Yeah, this is pretty much all we got right now.
Yeah, it's whatever.
I don't care enough.
It's kind of weird. He needs like a big old scar still.
I-
Or did he have one? I couldn't see.
I think
No.
he did. I
Oh,
think
did
it
he?
was like,
Okay.
yeah, it was like a little.
Maybe then we need to make it more red.
And
Yeah,
dead.
that's fair.
I mean, Geralt's scars are pretty
Pretty
red.
I don't know. I feel like it'll be an okay series. I don't think what's his face is getting any royalties, so yay.
Of course he is, isn't he? I don't think they can make it.
The man sold his rights to like all
yeah,
of the.
for the games. He didn't
He
sell
sold-
the original storylines of the books.
I think he
though.
sold his royalties out too, because they had made another Witcher TV series. and He didn't get any royalties back from
the
that.
Hexer.
I don't know.
Yeah, because he.
The Hexer?
No, because he
That's what it's
clearly
called.
stated when he sold his rights, he's like, media like this is going to make money. It's all about the books. And so he sold all the, like, he did the reverse of George Lucas. He's like, fuck marketing.
Saw what George Lucas did and then just did
That's not going
learn
to work. He's like,
anything.
that's not going to work.
He'll never make money.
Now he's suing CD Projekt Red for, like, what was it, like, $1.4 million?
Yeah. Bit ridiculous.
Yeah, you signed your thing. That Legend of Zelda one, though, I don't know. I'm not for it, I
I don't
guess.
know. I feel like it could be good. It just depends on what they do with it.
It's Skyward Sword all over again.
I mean, that'd be fine. Like, Skyward Sword's story is great. It's the gameplay that sucks ass.
That's understandable.
What?
I just noticed your phone case. It is like the tramp stamp of phone cases.
Came with the phone. I don't know what you want from me.
I figured, but I
It's
didn't want to
beautiful.
assume
I
it.
don't know what he's talking about.
Alrighty,
Is it a
let's.
clear one? Do you have a gold iPhone? That's what I'm asking.
So,
Or
we
is that
have
not a
two
clear
other
case?
small stories before we get into the,
Or is that a
the
yellow
big
case?
thing. So,
No,
Pokemon
it's
Go
clear.
has a copycat called
Okay, yeah.
Jesus Christ Go as a saintly version of
Boy.
the Pogo. It's
I
about
caught
the
myself a Moses.
It's about the Vatican, but like instead of collecting Pokemon, you collect saints.
Oh. It's that sort of Vatican. Alright, so
That sounds badass.
I was gonna say, like,
You don't fight with them. You're
My
not like
Saint Patrick is drunk enough to beat the shit out of all 6 of your saints.
he's like my Saint Patrick can fight werewolves and shit. And
by
like,
the time you make it to level 30, the overworld changes and now you're capturing small boys.
oh no! Oh, and so there's
You guys
also,
seen the South Park episode
Yes.
with Butters and the...
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
The Monster Hunter film had a little flack because apparently they're putting Real World and the Monster World combined together. Like, there's a portal that sends, like, fucking military people into the Monster World.
So it's gay.
Sounds
I mean, I
dumb.
suppose that's fine. There's no
that
story
sounds
in
dumb
Monster
as
Hunter,
shit.
really. Like,
There's no story, but there's been general themes.
I suppose, but
And M16s aren't one of them.
why not try something? There's guns.
Yeah, but there's
Sort of.
not, like, fucking
Yeah.
submachine gun, like...
It's not like tanks. They're like, oh shit, a Rathalos, then you fucking shoot that motherfucker down.
Right, there's no...
AA gun his ass.
Yeah.
Like,
There's no, like, okay, you're right, there's no essential plot to Monster Hunters, but they could make it into, like, a hunting, like, I don't know.
yeah, well, they don't have any guns that shoot 5,000 rounds per second.
Yeah, you have to reload that bitch. But no, I don't know,
Doesn't
but
matter, everything's
everyone was mad, but I'm just like, it's by fucking the people who made the Resident Evil live action movies. I don't know what you're expecting here from how
It's
good
true.
this movie is
Yeah.
going to be.
If it's anything like the first two, it's gonna be fucking great.
1 was good, 2 was stupid.
2 was the best
No,
one.
dude, 1 was better than 2.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Whoa.
The second
They're
Resident Evil
all
movie?
terrible.
Oh no, the second Resident Evil
Shut
movie
up,
was
you're
dumb.
bald.
2 is...
The second one is the best one.
No way, 1 is
Not
better
even
than
bald,
2.
that's how I know you're full of shit.
You're like mostly.
What
I'm
is-
turning into Jeremy.
Definitely not
I'm turning
mostly.
over Jeremy over here, like always talking about people's hairlines and shit.
1, I think 1 is better than 2. That's just my
No,
good
the
personal
second one
opinion.
is the best.
No,
like,
2
by far.
2 is boring.
What?
2 is fucking boring.
Do you hear this shit?
He's never seen it, so
Resident
like,
Evil Apocalypse is boring as opposed to the first one. The first one's not boring.
the first
the
one
third
is
one's
fun
dumb.
as fuck. The second one is
The first one
just
really isn't
stupid.
that fun. It's
I think
like-
the first one's fun.
The first one is like the base premise of like all the Resident Evils
Yeah.
before like 5. Well, maybe before 4 even.
Before 4, yeah. Because
It's
4
like-
hadn't came out yet.
But 2 is like, oh my gosh, something sort of different. And it's actually interesting. And then you have the Nemesis.
It's not interesting.
It is. It's
It's
actually
so
pretty good.
beat by beat lame.
The fuck's next?
It is the most
There's a
fun.
dumb argument about dumb things.
BlizzCon! Because we're about to
Skip
reveal.
hard pass.
No, hold on. I'm not done.
This is Jill.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom while you do this.
Reforged, Eli. Warcraft 3
On the phone,
is being remastered.
I forged to it.
Warcraft 3 is being remastered.
Yeah.
Oh look, another not sequel.
I don't know. I feel like,
Gross.
why would you? I don't know. That's a weird one for me. I
Why?
don't feel any need for it
It's
to
like
be
their most
remastered.
popular game.
I know, but like, make a fucking different
What
game.
are they gonna do? Remaster the first 2? You can't really do it.
No, I don't know. It's just I don't know. Make a good Warcraft movie.
That probably isn't gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. But
I don't think the movie was bad. Like I'm on the consensus that the movie is. You just if you didn't know the world of Warcraft, like no
Yeah.
pun intended, you would not understand what the fuck was going on in that movie.
it's true.
But no, I just don't know. There's a new Overwatch gunslinger called Ash, and like we were talking about off mic, she's a cowboy with a rifle, and her rifle lets her
Yeah.
double jump.
Blizzard's been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 also.
Yeah, and like her alt is a fucking bowler hat wearing robot who has Gatling guns, who can apparently one-shot Winston in his rage mode.
I just want all of the characters to be cowboys.
They probably will have that skin one day.
I don't know. That sounds dumb.
I don't know. I'd be alright with it.
Probably
I know.
why I'm not so big on Red Dead.
Do you not like
Like
westerns?
cowboys?
Not particularly.
Okay, so you're not a
Yeah,
western
I'm not
fan.
The
really like a
West,
huge fan of
while it
westerns
is
either.
while it is a unique like time period.
It's
to
not
the
your
US,
favorite time period.
It's,
Okay.
I don't like it at all.
It's not really my favorite either. It's just
Especially once you learn about the real West and just how fucking boring it was.
Very much so.
well, I mean, yeah, it's like hundreds of miles of nothing.
It's mostly just ground pounding Indians,
Like, Colonel Custer's revenge,
pretty much.
just everywhere.
All right, didn't need to get racist about it.
It's not racist. It's truth.
Have you ever fucking played Colonel Custer's Revenge?
I know of
The
it.
game is racist as fuck.
Oh, I thought you was
Oh, there's some really, yeah, have you ever
The game
played?
is literally about raping Indians.
I haven't played it. I've seen it played.
Okay.
It's like when Night at the Museum tried to make Colonel Custard a comedic character. I'm just like, nah.
I mean, to be fair, I'm sure that game is probably more offensive than actual Colonel Custard.
Probably, yeah.
I don't.
You don't know.
I feel
You know
I
what
don't
game
know.
we're talking about,
Yeah,
right?
I know what game. Yeah, because I know what
This
happens
is-
when
this-
you win. Yeah,
This
yeah.
is
Revenge?
literally
Yeah.
this is literally a game about dodging arrows so that you can rape an Indian. Like that is
Native Americans.
Let's
like,
move on.
that's
Westerns
beyond-
suck. We covered that.
beyond fucked up.
Racism.
And the final story is our Nintendo Direct for Super Smash and Gil.
Let's just put out a comment that like, thank God games aren't like that anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's not how the gaming industry is anymore.
The
Like,
plot to
we
have
don't
sex with
make
Native
games
Oh,
about
custard. Well, I mean,
really massively fucked up shit like that. I mean, I guess there's still shit
What?
like Grand Theft Auto that's
yeah, that's stupid. Like, what are you
Yeah, but
talking
like,
about?
there's not like.
Grand Theft Auto 5, you can sell people to cultists.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
That's different.
They're
It
just
is.
letting them. They're getting new clothes and shit, Eli. Okay,
Oh, yeah,
they're
I
part of
mean-
cults.
You trade off sexual themes for violence.
All right, Super Smash Brothers and
Unless you're
the
Japanese.
world of
Then you
Light
get
trailer. The first thing we're gonna talk about is that World of Light trailer, which is basically Smash's story mode. And man, that scene from Infinity Wars just got really, really funny to me.
Yeah, but that's the obvious assertion.
It was really much the obvious exhortation. Like, I'm just like, I've seen this before. Like, everyone's dying. Like, ooh. But, like, it really does point out that, like, yo, they really do have this, like, as a weirdly canonical world where fucking the Inklings and Fox
I
and
mean,
Snake.
it's not necessarily canonical.
You know, in this like story mode, that's like they're all connected somehow. I'm like, all right, that's cool. Revolver Ocelot's in it as a spirit, and you said the spirits are different than what trophies do, right?
Mhm.
So they changed how the game works when you
No.
put a spirit in, right?
Not
No,
technically. It's
not
basically
technically.
that's what they did with 4 and allowed you to build up the characters in certain ways.
Oh, okay. So it's like helps you with stats and stuff.
It's not just something purely achievement based. It's something you do earn, but it actually benefits your characters and the way you progress.
And Gil's just the happiest because Kirby's the only one that survived the onslaught of Thanos' snap.
I mean, I would have been happier if more of them survived, but I'm happy he made it.
Can we all just talk about how Sonic can just stand up and open the
See,
door,
I
John?
don't fucking want to.
Now, is it because he was fast enough, or he didn't have a soul in the first place to turn into?
Can it be both canonically? Can it canonically be?
Shit, can Kirby just eat the spirits?
That's a question. Can he?
I don't see why not.
It's not either one of those things. It's that Kirby teleports. He's got that fucking star that like
Yeah,
evaporates.
but Zelda teleports too. How come she couldn't have been like dodge,
but not
dodge,
like
dodge?
very far.
He
She's just like
teleported out of the universe.
she's essentially just a ninja.
Yeah. Shulk
Kirby
fucking-
is an omnipotent life force.
Shulk Doctor Strange
We've
that
all
shit though
known
too.
this
Did you
before.
see that though?
No,
He's
he
like,
didn't.
So,
no,
He
he
literally-
did the same
he
thing,
literally-
Doctor Strange, and he's like, I see a million purposes. There's only one way we're gonna win.
That
and
is
it's like,
not what happens.
No.
Shulk literally
Shulk
sees
went, oh shit, we're gonna die, guys,
Shulk-
and then watched people die.
Yeah.
You're like,
Shulk.
Yep.
This is what happens. Shulk literally sees the future.
Yeah.
He goes back to Shulk. He turns around, goes, and then everybody evaporates.
just like, and then like, I love everyone's different reactions to it too. Like my favorite one is just Captain Falcon's like, I'm out,
Yeah.
whoosh, just gone. Like, it's so dumb but so funny. And Snakes was probably like second favorite death because he's hiding in the box. It's like, oh, that's a typical Snake. Whoosh. I'm like, okay.
Nah, we fit trainer.
She just goes
We
to the
fit
fucking
Trainer,
tree
the
post.
villager, and
Yeah, it's just like, alright, fuck.
Duck Hunt Dog. They're just standing
They're
there.
all like, well, I don't know what the fuck. It's like everyone's like,
I don't
let's
even
use
know why we're here.
It's like everyone's like, let's use our cool fucking video game powers, and we put trainers like, yeah,
Like, why am I still in this game?
Yoga.
whoosh. Then we get into the characters, and Ken is going to be an Echo Fighter for Ryu, which is like what everyone said for like 6 months. Which, yay, Nintendo
Meh.
for revealing. And then Incineroar's the new Pokemon.
Give Masahiro a break.
I don't really care. Like, I feel like there's too many characters, personally. Like, I feel like every time they're like, we're adding more stages. It's like 600 billion stages. I'm like...
I mean, to be fair, it's not like any of the characters really have that much differentiating from them. The moves are all executed exactly the same. It just, they all do semi-different things.
Right.
So they can add as many characters as they want.
I just think it's going to get oversaturated. I feel like...
It's never going to get oversaturated because everything's really simple.
I don't know,
So it's like, you could literally have like 100 different characters, and because everything is simplified in like 4 different types of ways, there's like a billion different ways you can put them together.
Right. No, in general, though, I just feel like that's why I like some fighting games. Like, we're going to take some characters out, put different characters in. Like, that's why I like that kind of thing. Like, I get, like, people are mad that, like, my favorite character is in there. I'm like, that's understandable, but, like, progression of things.
It's not. They need to include everyone's favorite character. This is the time of inclusion.
Yeah, that's why there's Ivy Johnson. Fuck
Would you stop being transphobic? God. People can use whatever bathroom they want, Kian. We need to have all the characters in Smash.
Piranha Plant is a
He doesn't
character.
want trans people in Smash. What is this? Trump's Nintendo Switch? Trump's Smash Brothers?
Stop doing this to me. Let's go into what other DLC characters people are mad that Banjo-Kazooie isn't in fucking Smash, so I'm
kinda
sorry.
mad that Banjo-Kazooie's not in Smash.
Well, who gives a shit?
Banjo-Kazooie is the shit.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure.
Banjo-Kazooie is shit.
Speaking of trans things in a Smash game,
Fuck
it'd be
you,
cool for Optimus
transphobic
Prime
piece of
in
shit.
No.
Or he's just a guy.
What?
Banjo.
He's not a guy.
He's a bear.
No, I'm saying male.
Yeah.
Call me a
he's male
transphobic
bear.
piece of shit.
Yeah, well, what do you think Kazooie is?
A ladybird.
Yeah.
Is she?
Lays eggs.
Yeah, she's a ladybird.
Is she?
She's a girl.
Is
Lays
she?
eggs.
So? Have you ever seen how much stuff you can put up your butt?
Do male chickens lay eggs?
No, but have you seen how much stuff you can put up your butt?
All right, let's answer questions. Do I
I'm
get
sure you
anything?
can put an egg in a chicken butt.
You can send the questions in at
wait, they
mail@robroad@gmail.com.
They
There.
actually have a place to send it?
Yes.
Is it posting it on
I
Facebook?
am John Dean on Facebook. Make
I
sure
don't
you
think
type
that's my
as
Facebook.
shittily as possible.
I don't think that's actually what
All
my Facebook
spelling and
is.
grammar errors are welcome. Well, it's somebody's.
Oh my god. I don't want to talk about Smash anymore because we got into this weird thing, but Devin asks, hey, with the upcoming 5 secret DLCs for Smash, who do you think's going to be in it? Piranha Plant.
Secret DLCs?
Well, like, they haven't revealed all the DLC, have they?
They didn't reveal any of the DLC
Okay.
characters or anything.
I thought Piranha Plant was the first DLC. Or
No, I think Piranha Plant's just in the game.
Okay.
He's a bonus.
Okay.
He's a gimme.
I want Rathalos.
I don't see how you.
He's already a boss character. I want Rathalos
I
as
mean,
a
to
character.
be fair, they have Ridley now, too.
Yeah, and King K. Rool.
They're probably just going to size him down.
Yeah.
All anyone knows for certain is that they are new fighters. They're not Echoes. They're their own character.
Which is, that's better, because, like, I'd be pissed off if I'm paying for an Echo. I don't
Oh,
know.
you mean the
Yeah,
DLC?
Rathalos
of
could
course
just be
those
an
are-
echo of Ripley.
Essentially.
Yeah.
I want Banjo.
With Kazooie or
No,
just Banjo?
because Kazooie's their own character.
I'd
Kazooie.
be alright with that. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to pay extra for it, but
I wouldn't be alright with that. That'd be dumb.
Banjo with trans Kazooie.
How would you even know?
Oh my god,
do you
Gil,
mean?
Gil,
You can tell
dig
from
us
the
out of
voice.
this hole. What
You can
character?
tell from the voice and the dick.
Come on, Banjo. We got stuff to do.
Exactly. No, you gotta do it.
Holy shit.
You gotta do it in the actual like banjo voice acting.
It was like, come on, go.
And then you have Kazooie who's like,
Hold on.
it's like the most nail grating, annoying thing in your entire
Gil.
life.
Answer the fucking question. Who do you want?
Are we talking Nintendo properties or just
What
in
the
general?
fuck ever?
No, we have to specify. There's gotta
Nintendo
be
pro-
ground rules.
You're one. You get one Nintendo, one outside property.
Optimus Prime.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
It's like Final Smash is he just turns into a truck and runs a bunch of protesters down.
Alright.
Shut the fuck up, John!
So, I'm thinking ukulele, because fuck John.
I'd be alright with that.
Guacamelee would actually be my go-to,
But
because
like the chick from Hat in
And
Time, that'd be alright.
Kratos from the newer God of War.
That'd be fun
And then
too.
he gets Atreus as a helper.
that's his
It's
all.
like Pokemon trainer.
No, that's his
Throw
all.
out Atreus.
No, his all is just him yelling, boy! And then just fucking Atreus just raining.
Every
words
Boy,
at him.
fire!
Every time he hangs over the ledge of trays, it's just like right on top of his
Oh,
back.
shit.
Have you played it at all?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah, where if you like jump to a ledge
Yeah,
or
he just
something,
gets
he's just
on
like
your
like spiders right onto you. That's weird.
Your fucking, like your up move to get back on is you just fucking, he appears and you throw him with like a chain and grab it and climb up.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Alright, well, Thomas asks, I was a little upset with Castlevania not having some of the Castlevania music, but then it made me realize, what's your favorite video game soundtrack in a video game and why?
Well,
The Halo 2 theme always gets me hyped. I'm Eli.
any of the Bungie Halo games.
You don't like the Destiny soundtrack? You don't find that to be cool?
No, they fired Marty.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, he didn't make the music for Destiny.
I can't remember the guitar solo.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, no, that's a pirate thing, isn't it?
Or Skyrim.
Speaking of the Monkey Island soundtrack to me is really, really fun. I like it. I think it's super. I can listen to
I
that.
also really like The Witcher 3.
John's is, I like the Dark Souls music when it plays for
Well, are we
battles
just
and
talking
stuff.
about like music, or are we talking about sound in general?
Score? I think he's talking about like the
No, it's
So
soundtrack.
just like actual soundtracks, probably like
Any
maybe like Ocarina of Time. Like that's probably like a pretty obvious answer.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I
pretty.
feel like any
general.
Zelda, like they're.
But I mean, like Zelda's kind of always going to be an obvious answer because it's always kind of about music.
And it's always like the
Which
same
one-
songs, but with different
Which
pitches
one
and
has
shit.
the
No, not
annoying ass
necessarily.
flute solo?
Which what the annoyingest flute solo?
That do 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 do.
No, that's
That has flute.
I
Though.
thought there was one where you play a fucking flute or something.
Ocarina.
You play an ocarina.
Seems right.
That's not a flute.
Ocarina. I don't
Ocarina.
give a shit.
All-
basically
It's
a
a piece of
fancy
shit
flute.
woodwind instrument that's annoying to my ears.
It's made of clay, actually.
all of
Sounds
them
like a
essentially
council
have some sort of
Fuck you,
central
Dylan.
instrument.
Shove it up his ass. I don't
All of
care.
them have some sort of central instrument except for Breath of the Wild. So
I feel like
I don't know about Twilight Princess. I can't remember.
I like Kingdom Hearts
I know
soundtrack. I guess.
Skyward Sword had the. I don't really care for that much for it.
The battle, like Rechain of Memories. I don't know. I basically like because I play Chain of Memories all the time on the Game Boy. I like the battle music. I don't know why. I think
It's not like I think it's bad or anything.
I think
just,
it's
kind
catchy.
of bland.
Where about you go? Kirby. Just all of the Kirby music.
Otherwise, Bloodborne. Bloodborne's got a really good soundtrack, but I mostly like that because of like the sound effects and sound design in general.
hmm
The game has insanely good sound design. All those gory sound effects.
What about you, Gilberto? What is the soundtrack you enjoy?
That's something else now.
Yeah, entirely.
That right there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
really dig that sound effect.
Love it.
it was pretty cool.
We're at a truck rally.
It is Northwest Iowa.
Yeehaw.
This is the South.
Are we deep south?
I like cutting and sorry, just the Red Dead soundtrack to me is really I like westerns. So.
I mean, I always like GTA soundtracks because it's just real fucking songs. But
Yeah.
Yeah, but some of those GTA games have some really bad decisions for like what songs they include in.
well, I listen.
Like, what is it, like fucking in San Andreas? There was like one.
There's gotta be
decent
one. I
song.
know there's one.
And it was a
Yeah.
Rage Against the Machine song.
Like,
Who's Killing in the Name?
Favorite
It was
overall?
Hellraiser by Ozzy.
No,
Oh,
it's just
yeah,
one
okay,
that
so
you
that's
can
not
like listen
bad.
to and
Lowrider.
you're just like you
Yeah.
enjoy it.
There was some good ones.
that's a lot of music.
Just
Middle of the desert.
what's
on
your
a
favorite
horse with
Kirby
no name.
soundtrack? Like what Kirby game did you like the music in that you thought was really catchy? Because I know that's going to just be your go-to with anything. Like, what's your favorite game on the DS? Well, it's obviously a Kirby game.
I don't have
Or is it the
favorites.
Pokemans?
I don't think the Pokemon soundtrack is like.
No, it's pretty lit.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
Sun and Moon is pretty
At the
lit.
very least, it's iconic.
It's iconic. I don't know about like. I don't know.
Everybody
Means that
knows
it must.
what's
Yeah, it
going
must
on
mean it's
with that
decent
shit.
if you remember it.
Right. Yeah, okay. So thanks for listening, guys. Hey guys, thanks for watching our video. If you like any other thing, we also do an abundance of other variety stuff. Check us out on YouTube, Podbean, and iTunes. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and leave a comment down below. And if you're when you go to iTunes and listen to our podcast, don't forget to give us a 4-star and a nice review. Also, if you want to help us out, go over to patreon.com and help support us because we like to do this stuff, but it takes a lot of time and effort. Bye.